Welcome to an episode of For Footballers Only. I'm Mike. This episode is sponsored by the DC11 Project.
I'm James Pinet.
And we have a special guest.
I'm Lionel from France.
Nice, Lionel. All right, Lionel, let's just get right into it. Where does your football journey begin?
I started doing this job about around 10 years ago. So what happened was, like, I used to be a player as well. Like, I was 100% passionate about football and rugby. That was my two favorite sports. I was into football and into rugby because for me, soccer is about adaptation, right? So what happened is, like, I was in love with football and rugby, and I was practicing both of this. And as a player, you always wish to reach the best level ever. And I didn't go through my wishes. So for me, it was like to give to other people what I couldn't get when I was younger. So 10 years ago, I jumped into soccer, and I really loved it, and I learned a lot about it with, like, the players and the coach from, like, big clubs and all the stuff like this. So yeah, it started about 10 years ago for me.
Nice. Okay, let's go even further back. So you said you started playing both football and rugby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, where was this? Where did you start? Was this in France or in another country? And at what age?
Everything started. I think since they have born, I was in Cameroon in Africa. My old city was called Obili. Obili was my city, and that's why I was living in Cameroon, and everyone was playing football over there. You know, like, Africa is 95.5% of soccer, and the rest is coming after, you know what I mean? Like, I was running away from the church. I was like 6 or 7 years old, but I used to be a goalkeeper. I wasn't too bad. I was a very good goalkeeper, but I love running. So everything started in Africa, in Cameroon. I get this passion of football, soccer. I got this passion of the field, and I think it's like everyone in my family was playing football. So I get this in my genes. I get it, like, since I was born. I just started in Africa playing, and I get this opportunity to come in Europe and to increase my football. You know what I mean? So I went here. I was 13 years old. I went to tries into cities in France, and the thing is, like, what they don't tell us is when you're from Africa, you learn your all football in Africa. When you come to Europe, the weather is something you have to think about. You know what I mean? Like, so when I arrived here, I don't want to be pretentious, but I was a bit stronger than everyone who was the same age than me. But, you know, when you play soccer and it's like -5 outside, and you can't, and you've been growing your whole life at 30 or 35 degrees, yeah, the way you control the ball, the way you run, the way you do everything change. You know what I mean? Like, and I was in France in this small city called Clermont-Ferrand. That was like my first experience in Europe. So, you know, like, you have to manage the people, you need to manage, like, the environment, like, everything around. And my football wasn't the same from Africa. When I arrived here, I couldn't show off what I was able to do because I couldn't deal with the cold, man. I couldn't deal with the cold every time. There's another situation. So I arrived here, I play soccer. After a while, I get used to it. I get many tries around, and what happened to me was, like, I didn't have someone behind me to push me on the right way. You know what I mean? Like, if you give me my brain I have it today, you give me like 10 years ago, I think I will be at the best level ever, because it's all about mentality. When I was young, I wanted to play football, but I wasn't focused on something. Like, when I'm saying to my young boys, I'm training, it's like, you need to focus. You need to be, like, conscious of what you want. And when I was young, I wanted to play football, yeah, but I want to play rugby as well. I was doing running as well. I was doing handball. I was doing everything. That is important for the building of a professional player about sport. Like, more you learn from different sports, more you're going to be strong, because, yeah, you're taking skills from every single sport, right? But I never had someone who pushed me, like, okay, now you want to play football, you need to stay into football. You need to practice your football. You need to practice some skills, you need to practice things. So I was a bit like, everywhere trying to do everything. So I didn't focus properly what was the point, like what was going exactly. So I arrived here, I did many tries. The winter was hard, so I traveled around. I went to Australia for 5 years. I played some soccer there. I went back here, went to England. So I tried many countries, but I think like football is work, and is the way you have to go as well, like the right way. You need to focus about something you need to do. So I was like too much everywhere. I was everywhere, so I couldn't focus on what is properly what I want. That's why I think that was my mistake, and that was a bit like my career. But I always play, like I went to the good levels on every team, but I never get this little step to bring me to, like, yeah, you in now, you have reached the level. I was always at the like nearly at the best level, but I've never crossed it. So now I'm just training people to cross that line, and because I went to this road, and now I'm training people to cross that line and reach this level, the best level.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
That's awesome. So I have a question, right? So you said when you left Cameroon, the only thing, the difference for you is the weather. I also want to know, how was the competition, like from Cameroon to France? How was the level, the competition wise, when you was 13?
Man, trust me, I always tell to my people, hey, you've got the grass, you've got the cage, you got the field, you got everything. You play soccer, you've got everything to play soccer. I always say to my friend, even right now, I always bring some of my friends in Cameroon when I travel. I go back home every year. I bring my friend there, and I bring them to the field. And I tell them, like, even when I was 13 or 14 or 15, when I go there, I always telling the guys, like, you can't play football. I'm telling to the guys, even the guys, hey, the young people I'm training, the young players, I'm telling, like, you can't play football. You think you're playing football, but you can't play football. Because when you kick someone a pass, you give someone the ball in the field, hey, the ball is going straight. You know what I mean? Like, the ball is going straight to the line. If I kick to the line, the ball is going straight, 100%. In Africa, in Cameroon, you will play, man. When someone kicks you the ball, there is too many facts. It can happen. Yeah. Everything can happen.
Yeah.
It's like it asks you more concentration. You need to be ready to every single thing.
Yeah.
Because where you're going to put your feet, it can be a breaking glass on the floor, it can be a rock, it can be anything. So you need to play in this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always say to my guys, you don't play football. They give you everything. So you just play because they give you everything to play. People in Africa, they play football with the blood, with the bones, with the head, with everything. And that's why I don't want to say we are better, but we are more prepared. That's what I say, like we are more prepared. When I arrived to France, I was 13 years old. I was prepared. Like when I was playing with the 15 years old, I was better than the 15 years old because playing under 35 degrees for 2 hours, no one is able to do that. You know what I mean? When you come here, the weather is a fact, right? But the preparation we have in Africa is 10 times more intensive than what they're having here. So all I say is like, the switch was hard about the weather, but soccer in France or in Europe is really easy. I swear it's easy. The only fact is happening to many players, and I know a lot of them, they play into like League One here and or the best level. They always tell you when you arrive to Europe, soccer is easy. The only thing is complicated to manage is the environment and the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's go back a little bit. When you were in Cameroon,
Yeah.
who was your favorite player?
Man, oh my God, you bring me so far away, man. So what happened is like, they changed my name. My name is Iselin Lionel right now because my mom went to France and I never met my dad, and my mom get married with another man here, and I took his name, Iselin, right? But my born name was Itimi Lionel, right? And there was a player called Itami Mayer, number 12 in Cameroon. So now a lot of young guys, they're dreaming about Ronaldo, Messi, like this kind of player. There was Zidane. It was Zidane already. It was Figo. That was my generation. Luis Figo, Zidane. You remember how his name again? I was like in love with this guy. Remember Gucci, the player from Real Madrid?
Yeah,
That was that was the guy I was following. I wasn't caring about all these like big players and stuff, because I love midfield. Midfield playing was like something I really love. So Itami Mayer was for me this guy. He didn't have a very big career, right? But because we had this kind of similar name with one letter changing, I wanted to play the same position. I was playing exactly like him. That was the guy for me, like he was the man. And of course, Gucci. Gucci for me was I love the clearance of the game he was seeing, like the passes and the projection. Gucci for me was it was the for me the Messi from today, like the Messi or the Ronaldo. Gucci and Itami Mayer. Yeah, that was my players.
Nice. All right. So since
going to the top 11, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this right now. We're gonna come back to some of the things you said before. But okay, this is a question we ask everybody, right? And I just want you to know that there's no way, no matter what you say, people are still gonna get at you, right? Because there's no right answer to this question, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, who are in your top 11 footballers of all time? Your top 11.
My top 11.
Yes.
Oh. I'm gonna go right position by post position, right? Okay. So I was young, but for me it was he wasn't the best player, but mentally he was bringing all the players at the best level ever, because the way he was driving a team. I love Puyol, defender. Puyol for me have a very strong mentality. It was really, really tough. I love as well like Rigobert Song from Cameroon, because he had like he's a driver, he's a leader. You need to bring your team he can kill himself on the field always. Okay. I come with Lerby, actually right now. I love N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante because he never speak, he always plays the right humble, always. I'm going straight to you remember Inzaghi, Filippo Inzaghi, man, the Prince Inzaghi. That was for me very, 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 very good players. Middlefield, Lampard and Gerrard. Man. This is security. For me, this is security, man. Nothing can happen over there. Security. Left player, left foot. I love left foot. I love Ozil. Ozil is like breaking the lines. I love his player. I love his game. And then I'm gonna stay close. Yeah, I can't remove it. This little boy is like, he hasn't played for a long time, but I love the way he finished the ball. This young boy, Alan, man, he's a killer. He's a killer, man. He's a killer.
Yeah, three more.
Three more. Oh. Yeah, let's love the master, because 15 years at this level for me, and I've never saw that much player at this level. Messi is a king, man. Like, I'm not the biggest fan, but I've got the respect for 15 years of soccer at the best level. Ronaldo for the passion, for the hard work, and last one. Wayne Rooney, man. I love Rooney.
Wow.
Rooney.
Yeah.
Rooney, man.
Right.
Yeah. For England, Rooney was
Yeah.
No Pogba on your list.
No.
No Zidane. No Roger Villa.
Yeah, Roger Villa.
You didn't say Zidane.
I've got only 11 players to put on field, right? And okay. I'm looking. It's not about Pogba is good, he's a good player, right? But he is no constant. I love constant player. For me, a player needs to be constant. Yeah. Pogba is awesome. On the World Cup, he was awesome, right? But the thing is that Pogba is injured every time. That means, like, I don't know if you have a health life every time. He's not constant about what he's doing. I love constant player. Like, if you look at Lampard, Gerrard, Puyol, all these players in 20 years career, they maybe lost like 2 months or 3 months because they were injured, right? Because they were really focused on what they were doing. And I love constant player. The guy I've been like telling to you right now, there's players, they played 15 years straight away. Pogba has played 2 years. He got 1 year and a half, no field, no playing. He went back for 3 months, he get injured again. He's coming back, he's going. I loved it. Like, his precision with the ball is crazy. The precision he's got with the ball is crazy. The long pass is crazy. He's doing really well. But I need a player to be constant at least for like 3, 4, 5 years. If you look at Ronaldo or Messi, the only injury and Ronaldo had was on the Euro when he got the thing on the knee. But from 2005 to 2001, they've been at the top level, and they've been playing. It's like, you can tell me, yeah, Neymar is awesome, but Neymar for me is a very good player, but I would never put him on my top 11 because Neymar is like 2 months playing, 6, 7 months injured, man. You know, no, seriously.
Yeah, I agree. But okay, you didn't. There's two people at least that you didn't put on your list, right?
Who?
Zidane.
Yeah, true.
You didn't put Roger Mila.
Oh, because Roger Mila is another. That's true. It's another generation. But yeah. Roger Mila is the dad. To me, right? You're seeing Samuel Eto'o at the moment, right? Yeah. Samuel Eto'o for the last 10 years. It's like the same for Roger Mila, but for like the 19s or 18s. Like, of course, but you can't compare football from now and football from like 20 years ago. For me, it's not the same generation. Zidane is into this generation. I agree. But Mila is way too far away. Okay, he's a very good player. But if I take a top 11, the Roger Mila is going with another generation. Okay. It's another generation. But of course, man, Roger Mila is the dad. Of course, man. Of course. I agree.
What about Ronaldinho?
I can't believe I didn't put in. Oh my God.
You said you like midfielders. You didn't put Edgar Davids.
That's true, man. I forgot Ronaldinho. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Okay. Actually, you know, like, what I actually think, for me, he is the best player of the world, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I actually think. The only thing is, like, his lifestyle was too wild, man. That's the only reason. And the reason is, like, he just played soccer for like 10 years, even less. He had a very short career, very short one. But when he was in Paris and stuff, man, oh, man, this guy. With Messi in Barcelona, they have like that's true. Yeah, I forgot Ronaldinho. That's true, man. Oh, I apologize to Master Ronaldinho, man. I apologize. He's a master. He is a master, man. He's a master. That's true.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to, you know, you're in Cameroon at 13. You go to France, and then you stayed in France for maybe 3 years, and then you went to Australia, right? You said?
Yeah, so I was 18 exactly. So I went there. I went to Australia. I was 18.
Okay.
I started to Australia in 2011.
Yeah. At what point did you say to yourself, you know, I really think football is something I want to take serious, and I'm going to pursue it? Was it when you were in Cameroon, or was it when you went to France?
So. Actually, you know, when you've got your family, like especially like the head chef of your family going somewhere, it was my mom, right? Because my mom was the head chef of the family, so she was looking for a better life for herself, right? And actually, already in Africa, I get this opportunity to reach the best level because you got some big clubs, even in Spain, they were asking for me, right? But you know, this generation, my mom was born in 1960, so she was like, if you want to have a great life, you need to go to school. for her, school was the point, like was the key for a better life, right? And he got this 2 or 3 clubs. They contact my uncle. I was living with my uncle in Cameroon, and they asked my uncle, like they want me to go in Spain or other countries to play soccer, like in the formation center to play soccer, right? And they sent this document and all this stuff. And my mom was already doing all the paper to make me and my sister and brothers fly through France, right? And I got all these documents, and I asked to my mom, like, and my uncle, like, I want to do to this formation center, because that was also that was for me already the way I wanted to do, because I was dreaming of soccer since the day one. I was dreaming about a career, about like it wasn't just soccer, like sports, because I was, you can be very performant on one sport, but you can have skills on many of them. So I was like, whatever is happening in my life, soccer, rugby, whatever it's going to be, I want to do a career into sports, right? And I got this opportunity to come in Spain or other countries, have the best ideas before, like Etofis and all of them. But my mom was like, she was like, no, it's cool before everything, and then we're going to speak about soccer after that. So I got all these documents saying, like, we want your child to come with us in Spain, and we're going to form him to be like a professional player. My mom was like, there is no point, like, I let my son go somewhere without me. So the only point is, like, I'm going to bring him with me in France. He's going to do some tries in France. So that was the first mistake my mom did, because my uncle, my aunties, everyone called my mom, like, let this boy go. Let him go. Like, let him go. My mom was like, no, it's no point, like, because she wants us to be close to her. And I understand that. Like, I was a bit upset when I was young, and even later after that, they always say things happen for you if they are made for you. So when I arrived here, I didn't quit my dream. I was keep going to. So I was like, school wasn't for me until I get 16. I was like, I don't give a shit about school, man. I want to play football. I want to play football. I want to play football. So I was doing everything to be on best team and stuff like that. But like, I wasn't bringing the results from the school my family needs. So when it was like, yeah, do we want you to come to a try in the club? My mom was like, no, he didn't do well at school last week. He's not going. Man, I was crying, like, like crying every day. I was crying every single day. So I tried for many years. I reached a very nice level. I was like, like on 4th divisions. Like, I wasn't too far to reach the best level ever. Like, I was working hard on it. But the things, like, where my family was living was really far from every club. And to go for the tries, it was taking 2 hours driving or even more. And my mom was like, I'm not going to drive you there. It's too far. And it was sometimes snow in the road and stuff like that. And she was like, no, this is too dangerous. It's too dangerous. So when I get 18, I was like, okay, that's my moment. You can't say anything anymore. In Africa, you can be 30. When your mom say no, she said no. But in Europe, the laws say, when you're 18, you can do whatever you want, bro. In Africa, this law is not working, but here,
that's so true.
In Africa, the law is not working, but in France, the law say when your son is 18, he can do whatever he wants. So I said, like, when you're 18 in France, it's really complicated to reach like the League 1 or League 2. Like, it's 2 because you're already a little bit too old.
Wow.
And I knew, like, in other countries, it still can be possible. It's country like Ukraine or other countries like you can like play again, but I wasn't ready to go in a country that cold. So I met this guy in a hotel. He used to be his name is Lionel Iselin. He used to be the like 10 years ago selectioner for the under 18 from France, and he told me if you want to play with your skills, there is an opportunity for you in Australia. You can go there and try. Because Australia is a young country. The level is low. If you go there with your level, you can reach the top level easier than here because you're already 18 and you're too old for that. So I flew to Australia. And the first year I started playing there in Melbourne. And actually that was true. Like, the level was so like not low, but they're weaker than France. Like they don't play the same way. So we were more technique, more into football on them because they got footy and rugby and all the stuff. So soccer is more like, so we were making good money. And I was really, I was saying to myself, like, yeah, I can maybe make a real career. Hey, I'm not going to be on the Champions League or this kind of stuff, but there is a chance for me to play soccer as I always wanted. So I went to Australia. I played for 2 years, but as I told you, I wasn't to football. But you can't imagine how much rugby was knocking on my head behind. Like I was going to play on soccer on Tuesday or like on Saturday, but on Sunday I was on the field with like another ball in my hands. So I was doing both. I was doing both, and I wasn't managing myself. Like I was like playing, training. So Monday rugby, Tuesday soccer, Wednesday rugby, Thursday soccer. So I was doing like this every day, like every day, because I was playing with 2 clubs. Because the law was saying you can play if you want, if you can like manage your schedule, you can play rugby and soccer. So I was doing both of them, but it was too much for my body, like way too much. So one day I jumped, and then I reset myself. My knee went the other way completely. So you get break like this. That was in 2015. I break my knee, boom, and I knew like, man, you went too far. You didn't focus into soccer only. You went too far, and like after that, 2 years recovering, surgery, and all these things, and I knew like it was over for me, like pretty much over. That's the word.
Now that's a great. So question 2. So what's the difference between rugby and football to you? Like, if you have to describe it, what type of needs do you get from football, and what type of needs you get from rugby?
Mentality, man. Mentality, willpower, like passion. What rugby is today is what soccer was 15 years ago. We were playing soccer 15 years ago because we wanted to play soccer. We want to soccer. We want to put some goals and win all the stuff, and then now they want to play soccer because you got very nice watches, because big house, a lot of money into soccer, right? It's not the players who brought that, it's the supporters, it's the world who bring the soccer at that level, right? And the things like rugby today is like soccer like 15 years ago, because when you play rugby, because it's like you got this family content, like the guys playing with you, they became my best friends. I've got now the best friend ever I always have. They went from rugby more than football, like than soccer, more than soccer, like way more. But I still play both of the sport. Like even right now, I still play soccer, but I still play rugby, both of them, because I love these 2 games. But they're very similar because they're asking you to be to put your faith on it, to put your body, to put like hard work, constance. But it's only the mentality who's changing, because when you play rugby, it's more like, yeah, I'm with a family, with my colleagues, my friends, we're fighting. Soccer is like, you can be, if you got skills, you're stronger than 10 of your colleagues. Like, like Messi can drive a team. Like, because he's going to drive a team in the right way, because you're going to bring the ball like farther than everyone, faster than everyone. But in rugby, there's a line. It's 15. We're 15 on the line. And even if you're the stronger one, you can't cross 15 people who's going to tackle you. So you need your friends always at rugby. Always need your colleagues on the field to reach the levels and go and put the goal, right? But in soccer, if you're faster and you got the skills like Ronaldo, ball from behind, kick it like Mbappe did at the World Cup. He kicked the ball in the front, just running straight away. He go to the goal and put the goal. He can't do it alone.
Yeah.
But you can't do that rugby. Rugby has too much family too much. That's the big difference between football and between soccer and rugby for me.
Yeah. Thanks.
So earlier you mentioned, and even just now, you were talking about the mentality. But earlier you mentioned what right now what you're doing. So you've transitioned from you've been playing you got injured, and you transition into now you're training young players or even older guys, even professionals, to make sure they stay at their top level. What what are some of the things you think, or what are some of the things you do to help, especially the guys that are not there yet? They haven't crossed the line. That's what you said. You said there's this line. They haven't crossed the line yet. So what are the things you think are needed to cross the line, and then what do you do to help them cross that line?
So what I do is, like, I think we were all born with capacity, right? And we got the capacity from doing some things. And a human was born to just be, I'm happy for what I can do. I don't push it too hard because I know, like, I'm good on what I do, right? What they say, like, in physical preparation in soccer, they say, like, there is only a step. So I put to my players into it, like, what you're having now is only 80% of what you can do, right? So what I do is a specific work. It's like, I can't teach someone how to play soccer. Everyone can play soccer. We see Zidane, all of them, they were born with their own skills, right? But what I want them is to increase their skills. For me, soccer, what I bring to all my players, all my physical preparation is about 3 things. So the body performance, agility, and speed. That's the 3 things I play, because I'm not going to teach them how to trick the players and then do this kind of things. No, but I'm going to teach them how to have 2 seconds in someone's speed, like, quicker. If you got 2 seconds on someone, whatever you do, it's going to work, right? What I bring to my player is 2 seconds. I bring to my elder players 2 seconds, like quickness, like speed, more than everyone. So it's like I bring them, I call, like, the eye directional. So what I say is, like, I teach them how to see the body language. When you play against someone, you need to perform about saying the body language of the guy in front of you, to have 2 or 1 or 3 seconds, like, more than them on whatever is going to happen. I always tell them, if you look at Messi playing, because I'm looking at this kind of guy, when Messi is, like, 1-by-1 with a guy, it literally stops sometimes, and it's very, very slow. But it's going to engage his movements when the guy in front of him is going to start doing a movement. So what has happened is, like, is saying the body language of the player. Is saying, like, the player is going to act doing something on me, and before the guy start doing that things, he starts something. So he have, like, 2 seconds more than this guy, and it always pass. What I bring to my players is that I bring them this little 2 seconds specific. So I'm not going to teach them how to kick the ball, how to do some skills like some dribble and all this kind like this. I just bring them little 2 seconds more than everyone, and they're gonna be faster and quicker and stronger than any players. That's what I do to my players.
What do you think? So you train right now. You train professionals, right? So
yeah,
in the top league, but you also train so they're not yet professionals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference that you've noticed in the professionals and then the guys that are not yet professionals? What's the difference?
That's a good question. I was about to ask that, Mike, but that's a good one.
Where's the difference? You mean, like, the difference in the mentality or the skills of the ball? Like, which kind of difference?
Both. In both the mentality and then the skills.
So there is the one. I'm going to take some example, right? I've been working a long time with Malansa, the player from Chelsea, went to Porto, right? And I've been training a lot of players around as well. And I've never saw someone with a winner mentality more than this guy. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is like you got players, they've got they want to reach a step. When they reach that step to just staying and keeping this level, right? And you got other players, they're always pushing because they don't have any limits. A young man, a young player is no professional. The first limit he put himself is the signature from the contract, right? Mm-hmm. And after that, you got some players, when they got this first signature, they keep at this level. You got the other one, they're not yet professional, but they're looking already from the Champions League, the World Cup. They're looking so far away. There's the one, they're not going to do some PlayStation at home. They're going to go out training in the morning with the friend. They know they're going to run and stuff like this. They got mentality. The two different mentalities that you got the one, they're already at the level, but they're going to stay just at the same level and just saying like, yeah, I've signed my contract. I'm going to play for the next 10 years. I'm going to put some money on the bank, and I'm going to have my quiet life, my family and all the stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to be good, right? You got the other one, they urge at this level, but they want it like more and more and more, because what they're looking for is not the money. They're looking for trophies. They're looking for the Champions League. They're looking for the World Cup. They want to be on national team. They want to be, so that's the two, like, in professional, there's two type of mentality. The one they want to reach the best level, and the one they just want to sign contract and make some money, right? And for the non-professional, you got the one they want to sign the contract as well because they want to be professional. And you got the other one, what they're dreaming about is to be the best player, the best, like the one to put the more the goal, the more like winnings, the one who want to play on national team. So you got two different level in these two part, professional and non-professional for me.
A question. So, what are two things, since you're coaching professionals, right? What are two things that you? Oh, I'm asking two questions. One, yeah. What do you enjoy about coaching professional players, and then also, what's one of the hardest things about coaching professional players?
What I know about training professional players, like, it's going fast, man. It's going fast, way faster. Decision. You know, like, it's the way that the ability is like increased, because what they do is more strict. Like, if you ask a player to do something, to put a goal to part of the cage, or to kick this place or whatever, everything they do is so like focused. Working for professional is something that's like very focused and it's very like clean, right? But the other thing as well is to find what is wrong, because when you take a professional player, he's telling you, I need to work on this, on that, on this, on that. But when you see professional playing or junior professional, if he's saying, yeah, I need to work my speed, when you see him run, like, what the fuck, man? You already, what's wrong, man? You're running meters in less than seconds. Why do you want to work more on this speed? You know what I mean? Like, so you always is to find what's wrong. That's the most important, the most complicated, because when you're training professional, they're already doing everything right. Yes. Pretty much. If they're professional, that means like they're doing things right.
Yes.
Okay. So you need to find out what's wrong. Like, where is the little things I need to find to make it reach another level? That's the most complicated things, man.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
No, that's actually
that's tough. That's worth to know, man. It's good to know.
Yeah, it's like small details, like really small details. And the thing is, like, I've stopped school about 4 years ago, and when I'm going to see my physiotherapy, all the stuff like this, I'm checking even internet. There's always the new studies coming out, so you need to keep yourself at the level, because what I learned 4 or 5 years ago is already old now. It's like I was a lot into injuries prevention with the baseball, you know, the baseball, yeah? Yeah. And I've seen some studies now, they're saying like baseball is not the best thing ever. I learned during 5 years like baseball was awesome, and now someone have put out a book saying like baseball is shit. And I'm like, okay, so you need to open your books again and learn something else. You see, you need always keep yourself at the level. And even me, sometimes I'm checking Instagram to see some movement, some stuff. I'm like, even I'm checking your Instagram. You saw me using your training sometimes, because what I say is like, yeah, this movement is doing there. I'm going to work some power and some things. Yes, I'm saying like, I love your balance training. We've been using little mattress with the balance training. So I saw this one, and the logic of the training was like, yeah, that's a very nice balance training. So I'm taking it from you, because I'm like, we're all learning from people around. We're learning from Instagram, from the books, from school, and the preparation, physical preparation, and sport is growing. Is growing too fast, way too fast, man. So we need to learn every day, check out every day what's going on, what is the news. Like, yeah, this one is not good anymore, because I'm hearing a lot of things. It's like yesterday, I was with my girl, I was talking. In say now they're not using stretching that much anymore. They're not using stretching that much. Now it's only massages and the gun, because they say like it's better for your muscles. I'm like, man, I've been learning for 10 years. Like, you need to stretch every time. You know what I mean? So this is like, I've been taking 10 years of school. You need to stretch, like you got the studies say you need to stretch before the playing or after. So everyone got his own what I think about these things. And now the thing is like, yeah, in professional NBA, they're not using stretching anymore. I'm like, what? And they say like, oh, stretching is over. Stretching is too old. Now we're using rolling massage and the gun massage to like the recovery and stuff like this. So we're using 5% of stretching. I'm like, man, what I learned 10 years ago was like, is 90% of stretching and colds. And now they say like, yeah, cold is okay, yeah, for injuries, but now it's massage, it's gun massage. So everything is changing too much, man. Yeah. Too much.
Yeah, no, you have to constantly stay up, adapt and learn.
Yeah, exactly, connected.
Yes. What would you say has been your favorite moment as a player, as well as a trainer?
My favorite moment as a player, it wasn't into football. It was more into rugby, because both of them. Yeah, I had the chance to play with the national team, like the international team from France in rugby. They were into a stage into the mountain, like somewhere, and I went there, and I was talking with his name is, I'm gonna tell you, his name is his father, Ntamak. So he's the number 10 from France right now, and his dad was a trainer, and he asked me, and how long did it take you to run 100 meters? And I'm like, yeah, I play as well. So it took me, I was pretty much fast. I was doing in 11.2, 100 meters, right? It was like, oh, that's slow, man. And I was like, okay, so let's try this. So he told me, you want to try with me? And I said like, yes. And he said, okay, let's go. So I wasn't even warm or something. So I put me on the line, and I ran 100 meters with this guy, and I beat him. And it was like, okay, tomorrow you come at the training. I'm like, no, you're joking. And I went there. It wasn't like a hat. It was like a kind of like touch rugby, right? So, but I played with the professional, and I was young. I was like something like 16 or something like that. And I played with the professional on the field, and this moment was so good. And the second moment I really loved about being I wasn't even a player, but I was a young footballer, and I like it. It was a game between France and Cameroon in Lyon, and Thierry Henry was running on the right side to play the ball, and I saw his massive legs coming, man. I was young. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? He was huge, and he made a tackle, and he come like close to me, like seriously, like 2 meters. He looked at me, and he's like just like changed his eyes to me like this, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, he saw me, and this moment was crazy, man. So this moment was crazy.
No, that's great.
You didn't get the second part of the question. What's your favorite moment as a trainer too?
Yeah.
Say again.
Well, Mike, your favorite.
What was your favorite moment as a trainer?
My favorite moment as a trainer is when I've got many of them, but it's like to see someone reaching some steps. like I'm actually working with like Adrian Tameze from Verona and players like this. And what I love is to see them reaching some steps. Like when I was working the all summer with Malansa, um, I love the fact like because he was working really hard, really hard. You got some teams around him, and to see a player going to a better team because of the his level growing is for me like a satisfaction. Like I'm not winning anything about that, but you know, like mentally, it's really good to see like you've been helping someone to reach a level, and to see my players, to see my guy on the field running faster, or just to have this little text saying like, man, you know, I played today. The work we've been doing this Tuesday last week, man, I'm feeling 10 times better than before. This is my satisfaction. Like I feel good. Like that made me feel like, yeah, I need to learn more about what I'm doing to give them again and more and more and more. And when I see like when the summer come and I got like maybe 10 or 15 players coming and I have to prepare all this schedule to give them the best of me, and I see them going back and feel like, yeah, man, I'm feeling 100% good, like better than before. Just to feel like even 10% better than before for me is like a very big satisfaction. That's why I feel really nice about it.
Yes.
Yes. That's good. That's good. What would you say? What's your ultimate goal? So you know now, you used to be a player. You used to, and you used to play both rugby and football.
Mm.
Now you've really transitioned into this, you know, world-class trainer. And are you training any rugby players, or are you just focusing on football right now?
I'm focused 100% into football, 100%. I practice rugby for myself now. I love it, but I'm not training any of them now.
Okay. So yeah, now you're, you know, this world-class football trainer. What is your ultimate goal in this new life?
When I get anyone at training, anyone is to me. I always says like you need to get the best part of your body, like the best skill of it, the more power, the like you need to get the real source of your body. You know what I mean? So what I say is like when I take anyone, for me, when I start training any players, what I put in my head is like they are always at 70% of the body can give. So what I say is like the body performance for me is the first thing I want to reach. Like tell me what's wrong into your body. How speed do you run? How fast do you recover? What is the power in your legs? Your I say like endurance. How much you run? How much can you run? How long can you run? So I'm always focusing into the body performance. And as soon as I get the body performance, I'm working on to specific work. But what I'm always looking for first is the body performance, because what I'm up to in my head is when someone comes to me, it brings me 70% of what he can really have from himself. Mm-hmm. And from that, I want to reach the 100% always. This is what I'm focusing in straight away.
And do you want where do you see this growing in the future? Do you want your own institute? Do you want a whole team of other trainers? Do you like where do you see this in 20, 30 years?
Man, you're gonna be so surprised about what I'm looking for, because most of the trainer will tell you like they want to have this center and train as much professional possible and learn again and bring them to the best level. But what I'm dreaming about is Africa, bro. It's Africa 100%. I always tell to my girl, like, if I had the chance, even today, you tell me like I can fly back home and build my center, because what I think is like there is so much we can bring to Africa, and we can make a real championship over there. We can train them on the right way. Like, what I'm looking for right now is just to go back home, build something like here, and train the young generation, the young players, to bring them in at at the best level, then they can, when they come to Europe, or even if they don't have a championship in Africa, we can say like we have a real championship. So what I'm dreaming for is to, like, if you tell me today you build me 2 fields in Africa, man, I'm with you. We go together right now, man. I want to have all I'm having. All I got right now, hey, I want to have it back home, 100%, because there is, you know, we all, the way people think about soccer today in Africa hasn't changed from 15 years ago. In Europe, you can be handballer, footballer, badminton. You can do a lot of things, right? But in Africa, there is like opportunity are like less opportunity for us. So I want to give the chance of everyone to even chase the dream, but to be at least at 50% of the dream, because you got players, man. I swear, when I go home and I go play with my friends, you got some players, man. It's mad. Sometimes I'm like, man, what's going on here? Like, what are you doing in your life? They say, yeah, I'm building cars, man. I'm like, man, I think you don't understand what is going on, man. You don't understand. When I see you play, man, I've been seeing professional. I've got professional. They're not even at 50% of what you can do right now.
Yes.
But it's like only 10% of this kind of guys going to reach the best level, because they don't have the environment for that. They don't have the view for that. Just bring Instagram to Africa. Even with my small 5,000 follower, if I put videos of good players every day, they got more chance to be seen and to play. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these guys, no one is seeing them, and they're just wasting the talents over there doing nothing. Yeah. So I want to bring this change to African people, to my country and all African countries, the visibility, because you got guys with like serious skills, man, serious skills, yeah. Like crazy skills.
No, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure, you know, we feel the same. And actually, you know, the fact that you brought that up, there are a couple of guys. So, I mean, obviously we'll talk offline, but there are a couple of folks that is their focus, and they're making that next, next step. Yeah, there's folks who are even in Europe or in, here that are, they have like family and stuff back home, and they're going to visit and setting up, building fields, etc. Like starting out small with the idea that, we all know the raw talent is just is unmatched. Like it's so much raw talent back home, and like you said about where you came from Cameroon and you went to France. It's not just the raw talent, just the physical raw talent, but it's the mental and the like in the heart, like they're like
they got the boy in the veins, man, in the blood, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Passion, man.
I've never saw properly someone who loved football in France. He woke up every morning, going for 30 kilometers run in the morning to train and to work out like with nothing, right? Yeah. I haven't seen that much mentality in Africa. I haven't seen in Europe. Never. I swear, never. I've never saw people like when I go back home. Even me, I think you think I'm a hard worker. When I go back home, I feel lazy, bro. I feel lazy. I'm a lazy person. When I see, even when you wake up back home in Cameroon, you wake up in the morning, you see moms, they're like 30, 40, 50 years old. The sun is not out yet. They're running on the street, man. It's like, I swear, the only place I saw that was in Australia. I saw people running in the morning at 5. When I wake up in Africa, when I go to Cameroon, I wake up in the morning, I'm seeing like 1,000 people running in the night. They're running because the day is too hot. They're running until the night, like they're training. If you go in the city, you got that, like the clubs, the player, the way they train, man. I always say to my guy, you training here, you got water. We were training 2 hours and a half, 35 degrees, no water, man.
Wow.
It was so you need to be in love with your sport. You need to love something to do it, to train hard for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me how many trainers you know in Europe or even in America or in Canada, whatever, like they train that hard.
No,
I never saw that anywhere else. Nowhere I saw that.
it's
That much.
it's so funny, like you're saying too, like you know, us being in the US, right? We think football is like the Mecca in Europe, right? So for you to be saying that, like, I mean, we know, like Mike and I, you and I, we know that the raw talent is in Africa or even in Brazil, like those guys, you know. But most,
Brazil, this country, of course, man.
Yeah, like most people that grew up in the US don't know that how much behind we are, right? Because that's what we see in Europe. We say, oh, we have Liverpool, you know, PSG, but in Africa, those small countries, that's where the talents are. So it's like someone like the US, we have a lot of catch up to do on the training side and the mentality. You know, so many catch up. So it's just beautiful that you're saying it because you actually based in Europe, so it's good for our audience. You know,
if you see the European Championship got like 15, like 20 teams or 30 teams maximum. But I swear, like if you put a camera into a country like Brazil, Africa, even China, whatever the things like we're not seeing that. We're not seeing how much talented people are because 90% of the players in the world now, they all based in Europe, in France, England. Those, like I always say, this growing country, and they come in to pick maybe 2 or 3% of what they want back to Brazil, Africa, or China, whatever. Just pick like this small piece of what they actually need. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like we're always promoting the European championship, but there is like a championship to build back to the country because there's like players, people that want to play football. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So actually, what you brought up is actually something I talk about a lot, which is the Brazilian, what the Brazilians have managed to do, right? They've really built up the national league. To the point, I mean, of course, like Argentina had a bigger league back in the 70s and 60s and even the early 80s. But now the Brazilian league is at a level now that a lot of guys are staying longer. Like a lot of Brazilians are staying longer in the Brazilian league. And not even considering going to Europe, right? Because one, the league is expanding and there's more money, and if you're in your home country and you're making, $10 million a year or whatever it is, that's all you're not spending any of that money because everybody's taking care of you, the house, the cars, everything is taken care of, So like if that, I'm always talking about like that model of really building homegrown talent is, the same way, in other sports, like the way the NBA has done it for the U.S. or the NFL in the U.S., etc. Rugby in Australia. I think is an important thing, and I agree. I think it's something that, if imagine if that's done in just one African country, right? If you just did that in Nigeria, or Cameroon, or Ghana. Right, and you build up the league to the point where all the talent like that's there is actually guys are getting paid, and
they stay there, man.
Everybody stay there. It'll be incredible. Like you can't.
I don't want to say like I'm not going to underestimate the European and they all going to think like we're doing too much like. We love our country, we love Africa. But the thing is, like, it's not even about that. It's about what we saw, what I see. Is like, I swear, I've saw a team with my eyes playing. Like, I'm sitting like this, I'm saw a team playing, right? And I'm saw some talents. And I'm sure, like, if they bring European a team, they won't be able to play against us. Just bring European country first to play to Africa a whole season. With the like Africa play there, they won't be able to play first. Too hot, too hard, right? Technically, we play longer, we're running faster. You know what I mean? What is good in Europe is that there is a structure that they're building everything properly, right? But they keep them from themselves, right? They're not sharing. If you want to be at the best level, you need to quit Africa and come to Europe and play. But you need to be able to leave Europe because you want to play in Africa because the level is crazy. You know what I mean? There is too much like wasting talents over there because we not having the sacred. But of course, how to build that, I don't have, because this is a very very hard work. But
no, it is.
we can make football, we can make soccer really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like from what we got, soccer is already beautiful, right? But when you think about soccer, you think about some players. You've got Zidane, how do you say, Pelé, all these guys, Ronaldo, all these players. But it can be more of these guys. It can be more of this guy. If you think about Africa today, even Brazil, you got Adriano, Ronaldinho, these guys. And when you go in Africa, you got Gigi Okocha, Eto, there's only 3, 4 guys, 5 guys over there from every country and stuff like this. But there is like more of that. There's more of them. There's way more of them. I'm sure like in Brazil now what they're doing is good because they are building their own Super League and it's working well.
Yeah.
We have to do the same thing in Africa because now I love seeing a European country playing against a Brazilian team. That's beautiful. Yeah. I want to see Real Madrid playing against a team in Ghana or whatever. You see what I mean? Yeah. We never try to put ourselves players at the same level. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to bring this.
Yeah. You know what I'm looking for. But you know, I don't know. Have you been to Egypt or South Africa?
No, never.
Yeah. So you should take a look at. They've done a good job as well. You know, Egypt, South Africa, as well as Algeria. They've done a good job of having leagues in the country. South Africa in particular, and I think that model. And mixing in the Brazilian model would really, especially if you put that to West Africa, right? Because the thing with the Egypt and South Africa, there's talent, but it's not the same as like the talent in Cameroon, like from Cameroon all the way to Sierra Leone. Like that West Africa is just it's too much talent.
Different.
So it's different. It's a completely. It's just different. And even the players who go to Europe and become stars, they're all from, those countries, from Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, it's just. Yeah. So.
True, man.
If so I think, it's something, we should definitely continue this conversation and talk about, but definitely look at that and see how, we can help the infrastructure on in West Africa.
Of course, man. That's why I've been looking. That's why like my first dream today is to build my two fields, to put the synthetic grass, to make even I know players they never touch like a proper grass, man. You know what I mean, like a proper grass or even the fake grass synthetic. Like I always like you need to. The thing is, they don't estimate us at the level we need. Like I was in Kenya 2 weeks ago with my girl, right? We were in Kenya, and they're actually the best runner on the world, right? But the only time we speak about the Kenyan people is only when it's the competition. There is no competition; it doesn't exist. Africa doesn't exist if there is no competition. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the TV, if something is happening in Canada or in the US right now, I'm in France, I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to hear about it on TV. On the news is going to happen, right? If someone do something crazy, you're going to hear about it. What is looking at is growing because in Instagram now, you got this African page who's showing what's happening in Africa. That's good, right? But there is some talents we don't show. If Ronaldo do something crazy in France, you're gonna see it on TV in the US straight away. If someone is doing something mad and crazy in Africa, no one's gonna see it. So the only what I'm saying is like we need to put some light in Africa. We need to put some light in Africa because there's like for me soccer. I'm dreaming soccer. I'm living soccer. I'm living sports. I'm living the body conditioning. I'm living performance. I love it. I love it. And the thing is like I want to bring everyone, African people, European people, like Brazilian, whatever. For me, is to bring everyone at the best level to play and enjoy because we were born African, European, we were born just because we are into the competition, but competition with ourselves, right? And the best way to see if you're good is to compare. Right. It's always to compare. It's not a fight. It's no war or whatever. It's just to compare because when you lose a game, you lose, but you learn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If African never play with European, how are you going to know if African are good enough to play against other countries? Right. When you put the World Cup here, what they always do, we know they're cheating. They always try to put everyone on the side and just keep with the European cities. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a compatriot. I'm so sorry, brother. You know, like, they
No, it's true.
No, it's true. And the thing is, like, if European want to grow more again, and Africa want to grow, it's always a way to face about that. We need to face it. We need to, because we're learning from each other every day. I'm learning for you both. I'm learning from your Instagram. I'm learning from other Instagram. I'm learning from my books. I'm learning from the internet. I'm learning. So if you want to learn, you need to put the light onto people, to put light on someone, because if you put light on me, I hope my friend from Africa is going to see what I do, and I'm going to drive them on the right way. And I want to put lights on my people, on my players, because even in Europe, where I've trained people here, I've got some young guys I'm training, man. I swear, man. I'm like, how the hell they're not playing professional? Even them in Europe here, because they crazy, man. They play football, man. They play football. Like, I'm 30 years old, close, like soon right now. And I got these young boys, when they play, man, when I go home, my back hurts, man. My back, I swear, my back hurts. I never felt I was getting this feeling one day in my life, but sometimes I'm like, okay. So we need to put light into players, because we still have these passionate players, like these passionate young boys. Need passion. Like, of course, we got the money, we got the view, we got the TV and all the stuff, but we still have those people. When they go to bed, what they're dreaming about is football, man. And we need to put a light on it. Performance.
Yes. Well said. How can talking about light, how can people get in touch with you?
Really easy. My Instagram is open. Everyone is writing me. I always answer, because I love talking with people. I love learning, and I love exchanging with people. You know what I mean? I got my mail too is into my Instagram, so they can write me to my mail. And as soon they go even closer to me, I always transfer them my phone number, so like we can talk and exchange. Just like my mail, my Instagram, and then after that, it can go straight to phone number, because like I'm always happy to travel around and see other players and learn about all the culture and all the, like, you know, the way they practice is like. I'm going to use an example. I was in Kenya, and 2 weeks ago, and I was looking the way they were practicing the running, the jumping, all these things. And there's an old technique. There's an old technique on everything. And the Maasai, the way they jump in, I swear, like the way they put the feet. I was asking this guy, how do you do? And he was telling me like, so I go like this, I go like this, I do like this. I was like, man, that's true. That's what we're actually doing, training here. So there's always something to learn about anyone. So that's why I'm always happy to say like, yeah, someone write to me, just write me or ring me or email me, because even just in a talk like this, I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. So everyone is free to contact me anytime.
So what is your Instagram handle?
So ISFocus, so ISFOCUS _ trainer. ISFocus trainer. And my mail is really easy. It's Iselin Lionel, like my name and my surname, at gmail.com.
Nice.
Nice, nice.
This is awesome, man.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a great talk. Great talk.
Yes. Thanks.
You, man, it's good to exchange, like to speak with people. Like, you know, when you get me the invitation, I take it like at the beginning. I was like, oh, I never done that before, and right now I'm glad of it, because like it's good to see other people's point of view, to see what they think, and I'm really glad to see, like, and happy to see, like, I'm not the only one going on this way, because we all thinking the same, and I'm very happy about that. Really happy about that.
Yeah. But thanks for your time, man. Like, you're a cool guy from the first time. Like, you know, like when we met on Instagram, you've been cool. Like the energy is good. So you're gonna do great things, man. So thank you for your time. You know.
Thank you, you guys. Thank you guys. Let's, like, if there's another subject again coming up, send me a mail, text me, whatever. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Yeah, definitely, it's gonna be another one.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things, like I said before, since this is a platform to talk about all things football, you know, one of the things would be good would be to get you and one of your professional guys on, and then you and one of your non-professional guys on, right? And that dynamic, and then we can kind of talk through their journey and how you're helping them out, etc. So, you know, that's something we'll work on that later.
But that's problem. I try to set it up, like, of course, that's can be management. That's of course.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
I'm in.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time as well. And I hope I see you soon. Then we talk about it soon.
Oh, definitely. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right,
Take care.
Man. You too. Right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.